Hey guys, Jared here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a tier list for the meta post the October 2022 ban list. This is going to be something that I haven't done before, so I'm very excited to do it. Before I get into it, I just wanted to say if there's any decks on here that you do not see that you want to see in the next tier list, please let me know, and I can be able to do that for the next format that I feel the need to do this again where the meta changes so rapidly, I would say. But yeah, overall, this is going to be something that my opinions on the meta, where it's going to go. Keep in mind, this is pre-meta. This is like no one has tested anything yet. Nothing's come out. No events have happened yet. This is pure speculation and just something that you guys should keep in mind when I'm making this video. With that being said, please subscribe if you enjoy, and we're going to jump right into it. So the first deck that we have here is ABC. ABC is a deck that has a lot of issues, in my opinion. And the reason for that is because it's really just consistency is the biggest issue with it. I know they have some one-card starters and stuff like that, but overall, ABC is not really like it. You know, you have to, when you see a deck, you have to compare it to other decks. It's very important what they can do. So for now, I'm going to put this at can top locals. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it here yet. Everything, I'm going to like recheck everything at the end because I want to make sure I put things in proper places. I'm going to feel it out as I go. But I'm going to hopefully get it right by the end, so make sure you stick around as my explanations, which may change. Also, before I actually keep going, I want to go through the tiers. Tier 0 is like, it's tier 0. Like, it is play that deck, or you're playing the counter of that deck. That's tier 0 to me. Tier 1 would be decks that are just like the top dogs of the format that like you should be prepared for. Like, both of these tiers obviously can win YCSs, in my opinion. Tier 2 would be can top YCS. I do not see it winning a YCS, in my opinion. But it's still like a very good deck and definitely squeak in a top. After that, it's like we got locals and regionals level decks, just some decks that could do well, but overall, like the power and the consistency or something isn't right with it, and it's just a mediocre deck at best. And then we have Masuda tier, which it's Masuda. So yeah, okay, moving forward from that. Now we have Sprite. So as we know, Sprite got hit with the ban list due to Rototonin going to nothing. So now we have to figure out how to do new Sprite combos. But luckily, we do have a new Sprite card coming out in the next set, Darkwind Blast, which does make combos with Nibble Angler. With that, we do have good combos that are usable, but I do not think it is the best, but it's definitely good. So I'm still going to say it's tier 1, because Sprite's power level is still above most other decks, I would say. Even though they can't make Toad consistently, the new like boards, I don't know if you've seen them, I believe Austin or DB Grinder just made a real quick Sprite combo tutorial. And none of the combos are set in stone. He even mentioned that they are just like very like spitball-y combos and can be improved upon. But from where they are, it could definitely evolve into something else, and I think it's something important to consider. Next up, we have Branded Despia. I'm going to leave this as pure Branded Despia for now. A lot of these decks you can like also put in engine-wise. This is for like the core of the deck is Branded Despia. Like if there might be, I'm also going to include versions of like, you know, Adventure Package or DPE Package, because that also came off the list. Like, but the core of the deck is Branded Despia. I think Branded Despia is actually really good overall, if I'm being quite honest. I think that it's very underrated because it didn't take any hits in the ban list at all. It's still at full power, which is something that's very underestimated, and it can actually play under a lot of the counters to tier 1, such as Dimensional Shifter. So for that reason, I'm still going to put it in tier 1. I might move it down to tier 2. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep going and figure it out. But I like this here for now, but we'll see. Next, Dynamorphia. Dynamorphia is a deck I haven't seen played in a long time. It kind of fell off once Sprite and tier took over. So Dynamorphia really fell off here. I don't like locking out the deck. The monsters like from the life point pay is like really good, right? Like obviously that floodgate's insane, but you have to think about the ways that people can counter that, and like the ceiling of the deck isn't high. Yeah, Red Reboot's banned now, but like it doesn't really matter. That wasn't like the card that was holding like it back. You know what I mean? It was the deck itself. The ceiling being very low. It's can lose to hand traps very much so too. So I'm gonna put this at locals. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this here yet. I really want to put something at Basuda tier, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Like some of these like tier 0 and Basuda tier are like very hard to get to. Like you gotta be like straight bad to get the Basuda tier, and you gotta be broken to get the tier 0. Rytron with 3 Ben 10 now, something to keep in mind. I think this deck actually can probably do something kind of neat. I don't know what it is yet. There's definitely something there, but a lot of the turn 1 end boards are not that great, and the tier 2 boards are like very dependent on specific cards, things like Mystic Mind or Zeus and stuff. And Zeus against something like Tier Element isn't that great, or even something like Branded where they have Mirror Jade. There's ways to get around it, so I'm going to leave this in Tier 1 for now. I might need to start moving stuff down to Tier 2, because I feel like I'm not going to put anything in Tier 2 the way this is going. Eldritch. Eldritch / Trap deck / Floodgate deck, all of that's in here. Yeah, I mean, it's Eldritch. It's always a safe pick, I feel like. It could squeak in, but it's never going to be the meta, I feel like, if I'm being honest. So I think that's why I'm going to... Actually, yeah, I was just complaining about it, but I think that's going to be Tier 2. It'll squeak into, big events. There'll be some trap decks making it in here and there, but overall, do I think it's going to be anything crazy? No, not at all. Even with Red Reboot gone, you know what I mean? Like, Red Reboot is not a reason for trap decks to come back. That's something to keep in mind. It was a one of already, so it's not going to be anything greater, you know what I mean? It's not going to increase the deck playability. Flounderies, Shifter to deck, one of the Shifter to the decks. So this deck is good because it counters and plays Statue. It's a counter deck, but it's the best counter deck in my opinion because it has Statue and Shifter. Having both of those is very hard to beat, so you can beat Shifter if you have like Gamma, but you can't beat Statue. But if you you have to have like Droplet / Dark Ruler plus like something to beat Shifter as well if their hand's like insane. It's just like a lot, and then like M-Pen being annoying, that destroys Sprite really because they can't go into the new link that's in the next set. But M-Pen doesn't do a lot against here, so you know what I mean. Like you have it counters the meta, but it's not like the meta itself. It's just a really good counter, and the deck's really good. Like the Flunder cards have their recursion, which is insane. So if you don't kill them, you're not winning. You have to deal with it quickly. So overall, I do think Flunder is really good. I'm actually gonna put it above Brandon and Drytron, but below Sprite, because I think it's just another counter to something like Sprite. It's what it was last format. And I think it's gonna stick around in that area. The counter meta. Sky Striker. So we do not have Magnificent Mavens yet, so I'm not going to include that new spell that's coming out. It's something that's very important to consider. So this is going to be old, normal Striker. We did get DPE with 3 Fusion Destiny. We still don't have Anaconda, so you can't really make it consistently. So you're at like a 3-to-2 ratio of bricks to Fusion spell. I want to like this deck a lot more because obviously it's one of my favorite decks of all time. But I also understand the complexities of the game, of how the interactions work. And the best card in this deck right now is Shark Cannon. And the rest of the Sky Striker cards aren't great. Even with Runix, it's not good enough for me, in my opinion. I'll put it at tier 2, but the controlling decks don't have a really good place in the meta, except for something like Flounder, specifically because it's so much easier to counter them than to just play the best deck and then just play a couple of tech choices to just beat the control decks anyway. That's just my 2 cents on it. Evil Twin. I want to kind of make this more Evil Twin spritey because I feel like people like pure Evil Twin is played. You know what I mean? Because if it's pure Evil Twin, it's going down here. Like pure Evil Twin, you just butt cheeks. You're not doing anything. But Evil Twin Sprite, on the other hand, I'll put up here, definitely up here with Sprite. So just keep that in mind. Like this is Evil Twin Sprite. If it was just Evil Twin, it's going down here. So I'm gonna put it up here above Flounder because I think it's better. Again, you can just consider these together. So like I said, Sprite variables go all around. Exo Sister. Exo Sister I think is the worst version of Flunder. I think so Exo Sister does have inherent ways to stop tier better, with their engine, which is good. But to use that card, your opponent has to literally. Ideally, right? This is the ideal situation. Is you have the trap. They use a tier card. You chain the trap to get 2 Exo Sisters. The tier resolves. You summon out Kakalos, and then you activate both of your tier. Activate both your Exo Sisters and then the Kakalos. So that'd be chaining 1 Kakalos, chaining 2, 3 the Exo Sisters. The 2 Exo Sisters exceed into 2 new ones, and then the Kakalos resolves, dumping 1 on a new chain. The Exo Sister exceed that any on summon effects of them can activate as well as the tier and graveyard. So you're actually not stopping the next tier effect off the Kakalos if you're doing it that way. So it's something that's very important to consider. That's why something just summon Barrier Statue. It's just so much better for Flunder to summon back Barrier Statue. It just stops the whole thing completely. There's nothing to worry about. Exo Sister also loses Super Poly because they're all the same type and attributes for the most part. So Super Poly super hurts that deck. Just something to consider. They usually have 2 guys on the field to kill you too, and Super Poly is just a really good card against it. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna put it below Flunder specifically. At Ignister, big guy, hard to kill, very good utility. I really like Cyber stacks because of Access Code Talker. But overall, it's still like, are big guys hard to beat? Like, not really. Like, is it right? Let me think about it. We have to think about this, right? We need some critical thinking. So Tearlament, they are playing Access Code Talker now, so that beats it. But it's everything else, which I think they can play enough stuff to get around it anyway. So I'm gonna put, it's not tier 1 because it's fragile, like it can grow awkward sometimes, but it's definitely better than these. Yeah, I think it's like there. That makes sense to me. Because I've seen, I don't know if you know, this is people who go in Dueling Book a lot. I think it's Vision playing at Ignister is like a very good at Ignister player. He's been playing it very consistently in Dueling Book, does very well. Like a good at Ignister player can really make it look good, and it's just something that's like you need to consider, like mastering a deck like this, because it's not just ending on this sometimes, or like if you're just making this and that's all you're doing with the deck, you're playing it wrong. That's what I'll say about it. Kit, Tri-Brigade, Kit, which is just Tri-Brigade, obviously. I'm also going to include Tri-Brigade Sprite, because I feel like that's the better version. Yeah, this is really good. Like, I think this deck's really good. Overall, like, it does a lot. It makes a really good end board, but, kind of big but here, I'm not, like, crazy about it, because of the restrictions specifically. The restrictions really hold the deck back, but it's still a Sprite deck, and just because it's playing Sprite cards and they have literally access to go Blue Jet Starter or Blue Jet Smashers, that's just like broken no matter what, it's still going to go up here. And the fact that you have, like, I think Omen's really good right now because Banishing Kakaos is so strong. Obviously Revolt, Apollos is going to be good in the next format. The Link 2 Ancient Warrior that can make is really, really good. So like the Tri-Brigade, actually, I know what, I'm going to put Tri-Brigade above Evil Twin when I think about it, because I do think it's just better. Overall, I think it's just better than the Evil Twin version because of like banishing and bouncing. Like that stuff's so good right now, just because of tier. And yeah, so moving on, we're gonna have Virtual World. This can top locals, but I think it's, I don't want to put it at tier 2 because they don't do anything, right? Like tier, I'm not sorry, not tier. Like Virtual World doesn't do anything right now, at least. Like, okay, I'm saying not do anything in like a very like broad sense, but when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, there's still things like you have to think of how they can play through meta stuff, which is like you're gonna be playing through Dimension Shifter because we're gonna be countering the tier decks and the Sprite decks and stuff, or like Barrier Statue, or Exo Sister board, or Sprite board. Like there's still a lot they have to play through, and I feel like it's gonna be really hard. And with the way the format is right now, I just don't see them being able to do that. So I'm gonna put them at, they can top locals. I'm not saying like these are all competent decks, you know what I mean? Like all of these decks are competent, but like power level wise and consistency wise and like how much they can do for what, at what cost, this is like, I feel like this is like a good order for here. Marincess, this deck never got a chance. Marincess did not get a chance to see the light of day, unfortunately. It's really sad because this deck literally came out and then just like died. And it was so good. I was so happy to see this deck finally take off, and it just fell off. I'm going to put it below at Ignister because I think it follows that same realm of Cyberse monsters. Excuse me. One card doing a lot. But overall, it never saw the light of day, unfortunately, and it is very easily, I shouldn't say easily, but it's definitely beatable. When you're putting it in comparison to the other decks that we have right now, it's not that great. Pendulum best deck. Pendulum not best deck. Pendulum definitely not best deck right now, because Pendulum fucking blows right now. Again, this is before Darkwing Blast, so we do not have the Draco Slayers yet. I don't even think those are that great, unfortunately. Even though, like, it's so funny that some of the Draco Slayer cards are nuts, the Pendulum Draco Slayers, but like the rest of the Pendulum cards just don't do good. Like they're just not good. Like they're bad, So like Pendulum fucking sucks. It's like, it's still a competent deck. Like it's just all gas though. So like it's a competent deck, but it's all gas. So like if you just stop it, it sucks. Or if you break it, it sucks. Like, you know what I mean? In a format where everyone's playing Dark Lord no more, it's fucking Basuda. Like, but like I don't think it's Basuda, because, you know what I mean? Because like, Basuda's like really bad. So I think it's like, I'll put him at the bottom of this. I'm like it's shit for this, but I really don't like Pendulum right now. I'm like very confident in that. Yeah, Phantom Knights. This deck plays a lot of breaks. I really like. I can't word this. I don't like Phantom Knight that much. I like BA specifically, and I don't like BA just being used as an engine to facilitate Phantom Knights. But Phantom Knights is still really, really good. I do think that it's a very good, competent deck, but I don't think it's great. So I think this is also going to go on the locals topping, but I'm going to put it. I like ABC a little bit more because they have the Therion cards, and you can Therion with this, which is very cute and get really good stuff out of it. But yeah, yeah, I think that's fair. Like, I don't know what PK can do right now. It might be able to do some crazy shit. Like, obviously, Sight's still legal, but like, there's no Hulk either, so you know what I mean. Like, there's stuff, but you don't even need it because you can use I think this guy to pop the Scythe anyway. But like, again, just like there's better decks that can Scythe if you're going that route. That's kind of like an important thing to say. Like, okay, like I'm gonna go for Scythe, but like, is there just another deck that can just do Scythe better? And it's like the answer is like 90% yes, and it's gonna be like Sprite. We can just play Scythe. Even without Hulk, you do not need Hulk to Scythe people. Just keep that in mind. Yeah. So moving on. Punk. Oh, you lost Hulk and Chaos Ruler. Oh, you suck. I don't care if you have 3 Intel. You're just a bad deck. What do you do? What the fuck does Punk do now? You don't get the Shinobi Necro stuff. You don't mill 5. There might be somebody who tries to like does something with Punk. I could just be wrong. You know, like I haven't seen like new Punk trying to do anything else. But like I think Punk players got very. I love the Punk cards. Like the Pay 600, the search for all the small ones, is such a cool concept. And then plus the field spell drawing a card is such a cool concept. It really is. But and 3 Italy also absolutely cool concept. Maybe there'll be like a. That's something I could see. I could see a Punk PK mix. That might be something. But it's like all gas because I don't see it not being all gas, which would be an issue. But maybe there's something there. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. But overall, I think Punk is Masuda. That deck is fucking trash. By itself, at least, for now, as my opinion. Again, no testing yet. Dragon Link. Lost Hulk and Chaos Ruler. So they can't make Hot Red anymore. That's how you get Hot Red. You also can't Hulk into, like, Formula. You also can't Hulk for, like, another tuner. Yeah, Dragon Link's, like, feels, like, really bad. Like, you're probably making, like, Sphere Savage and then, like, maybe one other thing. Or maybe you can make an Apo in there somewhere. Yeah, Dragon feels bad right now. They took a hit. I think it's still just because of how good dragons are, the ones that we have, and like I'm gonna put Hieratic Seals at like a pedestal because I think that card's like arguably one of like the best cards like printed. Like it's just for the what it does, and the effect is so broken in so many levels. So I'm gonna put it at top locals for now. I think it's, yeah, I confidently say I can probably do the most out of all of these. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, yeah, I like that there. This feels fine. But I don't like again. We don't know combos for it yet. There's like you can do lines where you can still go like Romulus and the like Pisty and I'm sorry, not Pisty. Is it Pisty? Yeah, Pisty and Striker Dragon, and then like do Pisty effect or go into the triple burst or something. Like the lines are there. You can go Borland, you know, he's still legal. So you have a lot of stuff. The Chaos Dragons, like in Chaos Space, you have good engines, but maybe it'll be a better engine. Who knows? But I don't know. Like the rockets are really cool too. Salad. Ooh, salad. What about salad? The consistent deck that can make Dweller. Make Dweller. That's pretty good. I like you here. Power ceiling very low. Main deck capability of making Dweller. Loses to all the other shit though, like Shifter. Yeah, it's probably gonna stay here. Salad literally loses to everything. Like, really think about it. Salad loses to literally every card that is played right now. Yeah, I'm gonna put this here. Except for, like, Dark Ruler. Okay, sure. They plays around Dark Ruler. Good job, Salad. You did it. Good job, Salman. Great. Proud of you. It's just not good. It's just bad. Sword Soul. Oh my god, remember Sword Soul? Yeah, it was a deck. Holy shit. Yeah, Sword Soul, you're pretty fucking ass. Like, you got power crept to the maximum. You didn't even get hit in a ban list. You just got power crept. Like, what? That's like, it's so rare that it happens. I feel like that doesn't happen a lot, where like decks just get naturally power crept out, like without taking any ban list hit. That's like the branded Sword Soul like lifeline right now. They never got to hit. They just got power crept out. What the hell? I guess like they did lose Hulk, you know, so you can't do like Ashuna lines anymore. But you know, Mo Yi still a good card going into the 28. You know, Chi Chao going Baron's like okay. This card's still a hell of a card. The normal Sovereign. Sinister, is Sinister good right now? Sinister Banished Kid, that's really good. Doesn't negate it though. Could also Sinister Banish the Tier Field spell, which is pretty good. Also banishes the Tier Trap. But it really gets shit on my Draco Stapelia. And does it get hit by Super Poly that hard? I feel like you can play around it. Maybe this is better. Now I'm thinking about it. Maybe this is better than I'm giving it credit for. Vashuda is really good right now too. Maybe this is like top of tier 2. Maybe I need to move some of these. Maybe Drytron should be down here for now. I don't know yet. Yeah, I'm gonna put this here for now. I don't know yet because not a lot of people are playing Sword Soul. But I feel like thinking about it, like in like retrospect, right? Like you have to think about like how the matchups can play. Like things like Vashuda, this guy, and Sinister are still like really good. And Chi Chao, like just being able to negate something. Like it's kind of like if you don't die, like you're kind of in there. Blackout sucks though. That card is awful because it's only good against Sprite. Sorry, it's good against not tier. And this is something that's very important to reference of my opinion on where I'm going with this. And I should have actually did tier first because of how much I'm comparing everything to it. This is tier element. This is the new one to the next set. Very important. This card's broken, and yeah, we're gonna put this at tier fucking 0. This deck is disgusting right now. It took no hits on the ban list. It is getting more powerful with the next set, and then getting double more powerful with Mavens with the Ishizu cards. This deck is fucking crazy. So every deck is piloted to beat this deck. So everything that was good last format, like the Sprite builds, they're still gonna be tier 1, but like. You have to build your deck to beat tier. Like you can't just play a normal Sprite deck. You have to be teched out for tier. Drytron has to play for tier. These are up here because these are decks that can main Shifter for tier. So like all these, like the reason why all this is like this is specifically because of tier element. Like I'm putting tier element on this pedestal because of how good I really think it is, and I genuinely think it's that fucking good. Yeah. So I think obviously like that's my opinion. The deck's broken. Like. It's absolutely fucking crazy, and I'm very curious of how these next events are going to go, because I think it's going to be a lot of tier. I think we're going to see like, I don't want to say spiral numbers of like tier element, but I could definitely see like a 75% representation of top 32 of the next YCS for tier element, for the upcoming future. That's like that might be like a hot take, but if it happens, I'm going to reference back to this video. And then, if you disagree with me, tell me in the comments that I'm a fucking idiot. I'm fine with that. And then, lastly, we have Sun Avalon. Remember this deck? It won a YCS. Rika, Sun Avalon, whatever you want to call it. This deck was so weird. It's such a combo deck that I never played. I usually play most decks. Every deck on this list... Before I say that, I want to say this confidently. Oh, I'm sorry. I've never actually played Marinsas. That's the only one. I have played every deck on this list except Marinsas and Sun Avalon / Rika. So, but I also respect how good this deck is. I know the combos. I've seen them played multiple times. Obviously, we all watched the stream for the YCS. Rivalry in the main deck is probably still pretty good. You might be able to catch some people with the normal Rhino Heart blindly, like dumbasses. Dangers against really good. Ooh, this might be better than I thought it was. Yeah, I think this is actually, like... I think it's better than Flunder or Exosister. I think so. I think so because it has main deck outs to a lot of stuff. I think this deck is better than these decks for now. Very strong statement. Maybe I have these two too high. The problem is, like, I feel like I'm not... So this is something that's, like, very important, right? Like, to think about. I'm not really rating Exo Sister and Flunder. I'm rating Dimension Shifter for these decks. Literally because I can play them. It's so fucking stupid. So, like... Do I think if it was just Flunder and Exo Sister, like, I'm putting them down here. But, like, because if they play Shifter, they can go, like, up here. And, like, that's fine. But that's so annoying. It really is. But I think that's fine. I think I'm okay with this. Looking at this, I'm pretty happy with it. Actually, I lied. I think Salad is the worst one in that tier. I know I can play Dweller, but the Salad cards themselves are just very underwhelming. Cyber stuff is... Cyber stuff's obviously really good at killing. But I think this, access code isn't it right now. I think it's something that's very important to understand. Access code against tier is, very bad. Because you just pop their fusion or their guy, and then they just fuse, and then it doesn't matter. Or even against something like Branded, they can have a Luba in graveyard and just negate it. So yeah, just really important to understand that. I like this. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna stick with this tier list. This seems fine. It's still Sprite, or it's still Tier Element, Tier 0, and then Sprite. Still really good. I believe in Sprite. I still believe in Sprite. That deck does a lot for a little, and I think someone's gonna figure something out insane with it. Just my opinion. But overall, tell me what you guys think about the current meta and what you would change in this tier list. I want to know. Put your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoy tier list making that I do and explain, feel free to let me know in the comments as well. And subscribe for the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.